Thank
Yeah,
you.
you bet. I'm pleased to welcome in now. She is the senator from Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn. Senator Blackburn, also member of the Senate Judiciary and Veterans Affairs Finance Committee. Senator Blackburn, it's always great to talk to you under these circumstances. Obviously, today we're thinking about the tragedy of these families, and a slain officer. You were the Christian school in Nashville. You're no stranger to when these crises happen, how the community tries to come together and make sense of the senseless here. It is certainly something President Trump also has posted about. Your thoughts today?
Yes, this is devastating, and for the families that have lost their loved ones in this, we know a dad with 2 children, one on the way, the police officer, and then an employee that was a wife and a mom with 2 children, and how terribly sad. And of course, everyone today is speaking of the importance of making certain the police have the resources that they need to do their job and to keep the public safe.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I know that we're talking about the climate in New York and the mayor's race there, but the wider climate is really this anti-ICE rhetoric and being fueled by a lot on the left here. You posted on X how Democrats just sitting outside of an ICE facility, they're demanding to be let in. They sit on their hands. Illegals poured into our country. Now they're trying to make illegal legal. And it's so true that it seems like the focus, whether it be Senator Van Hollen with the Abrego Garcia case, or even in New York, just yesterday, the Attorney General, Letitia James, and other Democrat attorney generals are suing Trump's administration because they want to make sure SNAP recipients don't have their data handed over. So they're not even Americans, and they're more worried about what types of handouts and freebies they get. What do you make of how this actually continues on? Is it going to get worse? It seems like there's no end in sight for how the left will go.
Well, the left, pardon me, they learned nothing from November 5th. They've lost at the ballot box. They're losing on the floor of the House and the Senate. They've lost in the courts. So now what are they trying to do? They're trying to obstruct President Trump and his agenda. What the American people voted for was law and order, returning our country to a law and order country, enforcing the rule of law. They want crime to come down. They want to see actions taken against criminals. They want to see illegal aliens deported. They want to see individuals that have previously had orders of deportation from a judge deported. That's all abiding by the rule of law. And the Democrats repeatedly are trying to make illegal legal, and the radical left has chosen a side. And that side is with people that have come into the country illegally, and they
and some very unvetted.
Yes,
and totally. Some unvetted, and we don't know who they are. And with Abrego Garcia, I mean, there's now charges in Tennessee of smuggling, but he's not the Maryland man. We watch those images too. I mean, people with their hands up, innocent New Yorkers having to be terrified for their life, walking past the iconic St. Patrick's. I mean, all these memories are seared into people's minds. We're going to watch the legal and political ramifications for the folks in New York. But I also want to highlight a very important a story that's developing to 3 universities. Obviously, Harvard's been in the news a lot, but you actually wrote a letter to Belmont University, University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and Vanderbilt. You say they're hiding the DEI programs, and their reports say Harvard may settle with the Trump administration to pay $500 million for its anti-Semitism and DEI. So talk to us about what you need to have people know about what is happening in Tennessee, and is there maybe some exposure to them to lose funding if they're doing this, Senator Blackburn?
What we found out from some undercover videos, each of these 3 universities had staff members that were saying, we're calling DEI by a different name, but we're still practicing DEI. That is not only against federal law, it is also against state law. So each of these universities are conducting an audit to make certain that they are in compliance. They are retraining staff members and faculty and making certain they know that it is illegal to practice DEI in their universities. Now, as you said, Harvard lost $2.6 billion in funds. So now they're considering a $500 million settlement because of their anti-Semitic activity. But Bianca, you're so right. These individuals at these universities need to realize they are imperiling these federal funds when they say, well, we're still practicing DEI. We're still going to have anti-Semitic events on our campuses. And we have legislation that would actually block them from getting funds if they do host anti-Semitic activity on their college campuses.
Sometimes it's the money that talks, and until you see that, like we saw with some of the Title IX money when they want boys and girls sports, it's got to come to that. We'll be watching that. And Senator Blackburn, great to have you with us today with your reactions on the tragedy in New York City as we learn more about the victim and the hero police officer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
When we come back, we will speak to Bo Dietl, get his thoughts on where the investigation goes. Newsmax showed you the image here last night during our breaking news, one of the first to have it. Now what we're learning about